want to talk about this little session that we're going to do? And like,
yeah, this was some powerful energy coming through with you. I mean, I felt it from the first message we were having that was coming in and out, you know, and so much of a connection. And I felt Saint Germain instantly coming through, working with the connection here of, felt like freedom and justice. But and beyond that, I knew you were starseed. I knew you were second wave. I could feel this connection that's above our consciousness that was connecting from not only getting this message out, but in a way of some creativity. And I feel like so much of our mission probably has a lot to do with some similar stuff. And twins or not, it's the power of two is greater than one, right?
mm-hmm.
And that we all are here to help deliver information. And I feel like the more you can pull that energy together collectively, the greater that power is, for sure. And this is a good example of that. So as I was tuning in today, I started seeing celestial light. It's a beautiful piece of energy. And this was like a representation of what I was feeling your energy to be. And like isn't that beautiful?
I love it.
And so, isn't that awesome? So you have to get used to some celestial light. Yeah. And it does represent the deep peace. So what I was seeing in that is like, I'm going to go into some of your history, but I kind of feel like starting where you're kind of at going in, okay, is what I'm being guided to do. I just want to stop for a second, tune in to make sure that is, and then to go from there. Okay. So I see from your starseed origin that definitely the diamond light and the Arcturian energy. And I mentioned to you in one of the messages, I definitely feel Ashtar coming in with us. Ashtar is the commander of the Galactic Federation that kind of is one of the overseers of the galactic energy. And that's where a lot of the starseed origin is coming from. You're more connected to starseed from, like, it didn't take as much releasing or anything to get you connected or tapped into that. You kind of came in with more of the starseed carrying that. For me, I had to release so much karma and purge that I literally left my soul monad and went into my star family just last year and reconnected with some star family. And then as I did that, I felt this, like I was shown in the middle of the night. It was like Jesus had came to me and said, it's time to go. And I said, where are we going? And said, it's time to elevate, it's time to go. And so the next thing I know, like it was like this, I was going kind of up in this elevation, which is like the resurrection we talk about, coming through this ascension process. And when I did, I fell back asleep a little bit later, and I woke up, and it was like I went to the penthouse floor, and energetically, and it was a new space I'd never felt before, and I'm waking up at 4:44 a.m. going, where am I? And then, so automatically, I started getting up and downloading star patterns. And these star patterns were related to Commander Ashtar. And then I, after that, connected this whole starseed family. And as I was going up to this new elevation of the star energy, then it was just about a month or so later, I connected to an entire star family that I was shown also to help starseeds come through their connectivity to ground. Because what happens is starseed energy is so highly elevated. They have a lot of chaotic energy sometimes. And sometimes they don't know how to ground it. They have a lot of insomnia, don't sleep well. It's a constant connection to this high vibration. And that's even what we're seeing in some of these kids with like ADD and ADHD, because they're totally wired, connected into full connection, and they don't know how to channel that energy. And they don't have filters. Mm-hmm. So when I saw this in you, I saw that you were like on this borderline of being you're very highly connected, have had a little karma to clear. And I feel like that you have, as you've even mentioned, and I don't even know all of it, but I know you have this huge mission. And in this mission, it's about that dotting I's and crossing T's. And at the end of the day, I asked what the intention was for you in that. To be like, what is the block? Where do you need, what missing pieces and links do you need to fill in order to kind of like dot I's, cross T's, to remove your past, so you could like bring more of that energy in to go up in the elevation and expansion. and it had to do with inner trust. And inner trust being, it was coming from a place of like constriction, like you have it, but there's this constriction in an aspect of the logic, a little bit of logic, and what are people going to think, and some persecution. I also felt very connected to family in this, from especially it felt like mother, and I didn't know there's another person that's on the other side that's came in to assist you with all of this too, it felt like a mother figure. So I don't know if it's a grandmother or where your mother's at, but it's definitely somebody connected to you that's basically helping you from the other side, and that there's some like guilt around all of this. And that from the guilt is attachment to, it could be even like coming from them, but I want you to know we're also clearing the cultural patterns and the generational curses, and I feel like that's a piece of what you came here to template. So some of your mission and your connectivity to, like, even if it's just letting go of some of the culture that is in your background, and restoring that with a new template, basically. In that, I was seeing that you are very much a self-initiator and a self-starter, and you got so much fire and so much passion behind it that this is where it's a little bit of where I was talking about the constriction, because it's almost like your force is just coming boom, like a real direct hard force. And it's like, so what they're saying is like soften that up a little bit, pull that in a little bit, create a little bit more of the feminine approach.
Yeah.
And that's going to create the expansion instead of the constriction I'm talking about. So when you're really direct and hard, it creates more constriction of your receptivity to the connectivity.
Right. That makes sense.
And so they're totally trying to bring in more connectivity to the conscious awareness, so you can have more of a direct communication to bring in those messages. I mean, you're doing it intuitively now, but there's much more communication that they're trying to connect with you, and that's a piece of this with you and I.
Gotcha.
Because they want to communicate with you directly.
Wow.
And in that, so it's about, in this process for you, is creating the sacred convergence. And what I mean by that, is, the wave and the tide come in and out. And it's that exact breaking point of the flip between the tide going out and coming in. And that's where that's like an impactful moment. And like you were on the cusp of this moment of this flip.
Wow.
And like you've been doing all this root work for a long time and kind of getting a little frustrated and impatient, saying, when's it going to happen? And that's what a lot of starseeds will do. And I tell starseeds, I'm like, listen here, honey. You think you got to have patience? You should try. I've been doing this for 20 years now.
Right. No, totally.
And these starseeds come in so connected, and they got it together, and they're only at this certain age. And I'm like, do you know how long it took me to get where you're at? Just like slow down and enjoy for a minute.
Yeah.
This is not a race.
For sure.
It's an embrace the journey.
Yeah.
And learning to take this like really moment by moment. And in that process, I can see this connection of you and your beloved that has taken place, that has created this like connectivity that is also to use for the divine creativity. And that for you to kind of trust in more of that, really.
Gotcha.
And to believe in more of that, because it is in divine order.
Wow.
And the outcome has already been written in the stars. And so you don't have to worry.
Wow.
And I got to tell you, it's beautiful, because I can feel the merged energy.
Wow.
And like I feel tears in my eyes from that, because it's just so pure.
Yeah.
I'm just reading. I need to read some energy here. There's some energy coming in. where I see, like, in the contrast of the two of you is contrast. Like, in your, like, kind of getter-doner mode and your really direct, hard energy, she's quite the, like, her energy is so fluid and so much in flow. And she may not have your language, but she doesn't need your language. She just gets it. She just knows, and she doesn't have to define it. Mm-hmm. And so it's going to be coming into a little bit more self-acceptance here. Mm-hmm. And more acceptance of yourself, more acceptance of her, which is accepting you. Mm-hmm. And like, the key for you is to remember you are an alchemist. Mm-hmm. And that it's kind of like, really just like, your wish is our command. And what do you wish for? Without doubt. Because the mustard seed of a doubt will block the, you know, what's coming in. And I do see there's still a block coming from the past karmic. Like a connectivity in an aspect of pain. I still see some energetic cords attached there, as in, feels like a little bit more of like forgiveness work there on some soul level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, you are a warrior. Mm-hmm. And you, I mean, because here's the cool thing, you're really pretty balanced. Like, you have so much about you that's already in balance. Mm-hmm. Wow. And you have this huge heart, and I can feel this energy emitting from your heart chakra right now. Mm-hmm. I feel like you've got this activation going on in your heart chakra right now.
Yeah, I'm feeling it, definitely.
Yeah, I feel it. I'm going to expand that, okay? So I don't know if you can feel this, but your beloved is coming in for a merger right here. And this doesn't always happen energetically, but sometimes they show up a combination of wanting healing and or saying that I support you and I'm with you. Now there's an activation going on in your solar plexus. And there's a download coming in it's the diamond light. So I'm just going to bring this on in. An activation of your pineal gland right now. Opening up fourth eye consciousness. And one of the keys they're saying for you is that to not feel like you have to wait, that the time is now. And you kind of see some of what you like desire outside of yourself. Mm-hmm. But to know that it's already there. It's already in fruition. It's already in. It's just you turning your dial just a little bit to get in that vortex of that energetic plane. And that's like, you're so close.
Okay.
just going to scan your root chakra now to see if there's anything there that needs to come up for releasing and healing to repair. So I for sure see the abandonment and a sense in this feeling of like, I want to go home, which has created some form of like kind of exhaustion. And that's where some of the doubts coming from a fear of, can I do everything I desire to do? And can I get it all done? And when am I going to get it all done? So you've been going through the rebirth phase of this ascension process, and I'm seeing this activation taking you on up to the next level. Your receptivity is going to heighten, your awareness is going to heighten. Your connectivity to the divine is going to heighten. And I do something with clients sometimes, it's called sowing seeds of the diamond light. And so we're doing that right now. And it's coming into the solar plexus. And there's a lot of yellow energy mixed with some blue, but mainly yellow, and it's coming from Archangel Uriel, that is the archangel for direction and wisdom and understanding, and to be able to process this, what's going on at a higher conscious level as you integrate the pieces of your awakening here. That's like, basically when we say an awakening, we're tapping into wisdom and knowledge and records that is unlocking the codes that are already inside of you, and for you to now remember your identity of who you are and what you came here to do. I just want you to open up your hands for me, just to like feel the receiving mode here.
Okay.
And it's really interesting and very beautiful because I see you in the Arcturian mode right now, like your star origin. And it's beautiful, beautiful light. It's a mixture of green. But it looks like I would call like a rainbow labradorite, where you look like a labradorite, meaning you have all the spectrum in you. Very iridescent. There's an activation going on in your third eye right now. So I'm hearing the words, this too shall pass. So it's like there's some underlying component here of, feels like something that's a little bit of a block that is pulling you emotionally a little bit. And they're saying this too shall pass, for you to not worry about this. That it's really just the trigger that's pulling out the purge, that's purifying this abandonment issue. And Mother Mary's came through here a couple times, and it's about nurturing that inner child. And it's almost like you didn't exactly have this childhood because you grew up so quickly, so highly connected, and so much wisdom, that to really just honor you and nurture you. And so now I'm seeing you as this beacon of light, shining for others to follow, and that you are also a way shower. That's where you're having a little bit of a doubt, but that's also where you're expanding now. And to get prepared, because shifts about to happen. All right. I can still feel some energy coming in. And I don't know if you're feeling this on your back, between your shoulder blades. But I have this happen with clients all the time. They start to feel like we're earth angels, and they start to feel these wings, so to speak, kind of come out of their back. And they're coming out. And yours, I've never seen this color before, but they're iridescent, and they're beautiful. So there's a communication going on right now with no words. So I need to just be quiet for a minute because there's something coming in. I want you to take 3 deep breaths for me and just sort of move your fingers so you can kind of like come back into your body just a little bit. And I want you to take all the time you need, and when you're ready, open your eyes.
Okay.
So your starship showed up and did an encoding. I could see the light codes, like I could see the actual codes, and they were encoding you with those codes at the end. And I mean, I always tell people I wish I could like capture all my visions to share, but it was beautiful, and it's in a space of liquid love. Is what we were in. It was the flow, and I could feel the oscillation.
Wow.
I'm sure, I don't know what you could feel, but
Yeah.
there was a lot going on. There was a lot going on.
I mean, I'm definitely vibrating and feeling.
I would anticipate that the codes start to activate to create more enlightenment and awakening to some of this connectivity and consciousness.
Wow.
And I'm sure it has a lot to do with connecting to more you're to be doing with your mission.
Wow.
Like, I know how to read the vibrations, and like you were very, very highly vibrational. And it's always harmony. So when it's always about, like, when I work with people at that vibration, it's never like I'm giving, I'm facilitating, but it becomes in an oscillation of like, it always enhances me too.
Yeah. I'm curious, when you say a relationship, or the one I have now, it's like a divine order, what does that actually mean? Or how did you feel that and know that?
Okay, so they were showing me that that's where one of your biggest doubts is, and for you to your trust to be. And it's got to do with the abandonment and the feeling of like sense of like, I just want to be home. It's like where I was feeling this, like just seeking that deep peace that we were talking about.
Yeah.
And so I was feeling and seeing and shown that. And then they told me, like, I heard the words, like, it's divine order, like for you not to worry. It's already written in the stars. So I heard those words as I was feeling that. And so what it really means is that as hard as it is to surrender to an outcome, a face, for you just to continue to put your passion into your purpose and your mission, and you're going to be rewarded beyond your conscious mind in the process. And then divine order means that there's certain pieces that have to still go into place that are outside of your control.
Right.
That it will align at the exact moment that everything else is in alignment. But the reason it's a process, and only can certain parts be revealed as it's time to reveal it.
Right. Mm.
And that's why you're in a holding pattern.
Right. Okay.
And you're in the holding pattern
Gotcha.
to slow down,
Right.
to get the flow I was talking about, rather than you're barreling through.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because it's a time now of learning how to create with ease and grace, rather than the old masculine ways of having to do everything either hard or really like persistent and structure.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're rechanging that. And I feel like in that, when I say that, there's going to be so many levels of shifts for you in what you're already doing on top of your expansion.
Yeah. Amazing.
And really just trust that process, and trusting that process is that it is like a child doesn't have a defining moment, it's an adult. It just unfolds.
Yeah.
A rosebud unfolds.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what you're doing. You're already in evolution. Like it's already happening.
Mm-hmm.
So just let go and enjoy the process.
Thank you for all this. I feel like I've learned so much from you already, and hope to continue to
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Definitely appreciate
it. It's a blessing. It's an honor.
Thank you.
And I always tell people, like, in this, thank you for letting me see the depths and the windows of your soul. You know, it takes a lot of trust to do that, to be open. And for me, like, I don't take that lightly, like, because that's being very vulnerable and open, and it's just an honor. I mean, I can tell, like, I'm even getting teary-eyed saying that, because it's just so beautiful to see people in that state.
Yeah. Well, definitely thank you for everything you do, and being accessible to this, and being able to be of service in this way. It's an amazing gift that you have. So thank you.
Thanks for confirming my alignment and making my hell all worthwhile. Right?
Well, let's make it even more worthwhile now.
That's right. I'm ready. I'm ready, because all my karma's gone now.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess this is a great way to close it. I feel I got so many answers from you, from your session, even though there wasn't a lot of communication. And I feel that this is something that anyone could experience if they're ready, you know, because I definitely feel like seeing all the steps I've taken to be guided to you and to find you has had purpose and a reason. So it's a beautiful connection. And I hope other people can experience this too. So I would love to share this with everyone, and how Dr. Harmony works with you, which is such a beautiful and touching and compassionate place. So I hope this is eye-opening and comforting for everyone out there wanting to kind of experience something like this. And Dr. Harmony is a perfect person to go to connect. So thank you for that.
You're just so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you too. Thank you.
Many blessings.